Okay, I tried to show you guys in the last video how I cut the rocker out, but I don't think it came out very well. So now I'm showing you. This is where my spot welds go. That's where I cut out the rocker, right underneath the door. Cut all the rot out. Yep. This one, I cut it all out. Gotta make my patch. And then this one, which you saw, is welded in, ready to go. Still gotta fill in those holes, grind her down. Just wanted you guys to get a good look at that rocker. It was too dark last night, so yeah, I'm gonna make a patch and do that one right now. There's the Ranger fender I cut that patch out of. Yep. Alright. I'll cut my patch out and start getting ready. Second patch. Welded in. Gotta grind them down. Not too shabby. Nothing a little bit of fiberglass can't fix. The door wasn't shut all the way. There you go. Yep. Nothing a little fiberglass can't fix. Plus there's a big ass wheel well that goes over that. There's another one. There's a new one. Coming up pretty nice actually. Can't wait to get to this rocker. But it's going good so far. Can't do too much bitching. Okay guys, I'm doing it. I did that one, and I did that one. Now I'm on this one. Yes sir. Okay, now I figure I'll show you this one, what I'm doing here from the get-go. As you can see, I cut it out right on that bend where it goes up across under the door. This is the door right here. That's the gap. This is the rocker. Okay, and right here it goes down, makes a bend, and goes straight back in to where it pinch weld, spot welds to the inner structure panel here. So what I did was, I had a Mazda hood laying around. I cut my piece of sheet metal off of the Mazda, and then I held my flat piece up against, right over top of this upper body line on the rocker. I held it up to that, and then I made a mark down at that end where the curve is, and a mark down at this end where the curve is. And then I took a straight edge, connected the two lines, as you can see, and I got a line. Now that line is going to be where that bend is. So as you can see right here, it's kind of a sharp bend there, almost a 45 or something. I just used my vise. It's a 6-inch vise, and every 6 inches I just reclamped the vise and used my body hammer and bent it over. But as you can see on the car, that's not a sharp 45. That's a round 45. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna hold this up to there and mark with a marker this exact line where I'm gonna butt weld this in, this exact line all the way down through there. I'm gonna weld in the top of my panel to that line, and I'm gonna use my body hammer, and I'm gonna start beating right here on this point, shaping and molding it to close to that curve there. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's lower than that, but I don't want to go too lower because I don't want to use that much filler. But what's going to make this look good is when I go over with my fiberglass and Bondo, because when you don't order a OEM or even an aftermarket replacement panel, there's no way you're gonna 100% magically duplicate what's there. So as long as I get my metal structure welded in and solid, and I get it close by beating it with a hammer, I can sand my Bondo to fine tune it and make it look good. Or my Duraglass, I should say. You want to use Duraglass on this stuff because it's waterproof. And right where you welded is the first place that'll start to rust again. And so to protect yourself, you want to use fiberglass, Duraglass, short. I use short hair, but you can use long hair. It's waterproof. I put that down first, and then I put my Bondo and my glaze over the top of that and finish it out. The other thing you always want to do when you weld on a car, you want to be able to get to the back side of the panel and put some kind of corrosion protection behind there, because if you don't, it'll start to rust from the inside out due to moisture, condensation, anything like that. So if you can access the back, even if you can only put in some underbody coating, I suggest putting epoxy in back there. But if you can't access it, try to find a really inconspicuous spot where you can drill a little hole, and then you can stick something in there and spray epoxy, or you can spray undercoating or something behind there, and then plug the hole up with a rubber grommet or something. This one I can access up and through here. That one back there I can access from underneath. And then this rocker panel right here, there's a plastic plug, so I can access that from the back. And I will be spraying the back of my welds with epoxy primer, as well as over top of my bodywork will also receive a coat of epoxy primer. But let me get this welded on there and start beating it, and I'll show you as I'm beating that line around. Okay, so I got the top of that makeshift rocker panel welded in. Stitch welding doesn't look pretty, but as long as it's solid, nobody cares because you grind it down anyway. And right there was that sharp line. I just took my body hammer and I started hitting it along there to try to curve that out some. I got it clamped across the bottom here. I got to drill spot welds across here, spot weld it up, weld up there, weld over here. That'll be good to go. Doesn't look too bad. See if I can give you a side shot. Not bad. It'll be enough to where I shouldn't have any more than an 1/8 inch, maybe 3/16 inch of filler on there at most. So it's not too bad. It'll come out the way I want. Weld it in. Spot welds across the bottom, up the sides, down across the top. Got it hammered in pretty well. Good enough for mud. Now I get to have a grinding party. Yep, I gotta grind all those welds. That's my least favorite part of the whole job, is grinding welds. There she be, guys. Ground down in there. Spot welds ground down. Everything's ground down, nice, looking good.